Hello, good evening, and welcome to a late one for me tonight. Guys, you don't usually see me around about this time of night. I'm usually like lying around watching the ghost programs when my wife's got them on. But she's watching something different. I think she's watching First Dates tonight. But anyway, I stayed up in town now because I thought, oh, I've got to get. Can I call you Jay? Can I call you Jay?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody does.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I stayed up because I wanted to speak to Jay because Jay comes from Nashville, and in a minute we're going to talk about his music and everything, and it's really interesting. So hopefully you can get something from this. And thank you very much for joining me tonight on Crossroads. Hello, Jay. How are you?
Doing good, Steve. Man, glad to be with you.
Good, good. Um, I was reading about you today, and when I was reading about you, I was kind of like, I thought, hey, and I tell you why I said hey was because you're a son of a kind of a minister, aren't you? Of
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
church.
Well, a long line, son and grandson on both sides, and great grandson of a minister as well. So,
All right. Um, is he a popular? Is he a popular minister, or is he well
um,
known?
I would say, yeah, in the organizations in those circles that he traveled, yeah, it was he was known a little bit. So,
All right. Okay. Okay. And because I'm a Christian, and I just found it quite interesting to kind of
right,
like to. That's why I
right.
brought it up. Now, tell everybody about your music. What kind of music you do?
Well, it's kind of I know you've probably heard this a hundred or a million times. It's different, but it really is. I have an old soul voice, and it's a little tore up from the many years of singing in the church, and we had the upbeat worship back before it was popular, the hand clapping and the foot stomping type stuff. Um, so I've got an old rough voice, but with a little bit of soul. And I've done blues music for years,
Mm.
and my writing was more of the country stuff, where I like to tell the stories. And so we tried to make a little a phrase and coin a phrase called blue country rock quite a
Mm.
few years ago, but I think that just confused people. They were like, "What? We don't know what that is." So it's classic from Bob Seger to Joe Cocker, and then Merle Haggard to Waylon Jennings, and as far as the writing and stuff goes. But I think we still got some stuff that's relevant today, and it has a little bit of an outlaw feel to it, and maybe from just singing about some of the old cowboy mentality and mindset. So
Yeah, because when I was listening to it today, I was thinking to myself, this is like an outlaw coming into a cowboy town. You know what I mean? And he's and he's coming in, and he's on his horse and everything, and he's shooting his gun off, and he
yeah,
goes through the saloon or something, and and everybody's out there having a drink or something, and he goes, "Hey, man, you know what I mean? I'm gonna shoot you." Uh, and all of a sudden, you come out with your guitar and play. You know what I mean?
right,
You know?
right. I think so, but I think it's kind of like it's there's some purpose behind it too, and I mean that's again, everybody probably says that, but it's more than just a hey, let's all drink and have a party. It's kind of like, all right, there's a method to this madness, and there's a reason for doing that. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
we're trying to accomplish something, or we're taking care of business, or somebody needs to be straightened out. I don't know. It's or maybe
Yeah.
just somebody needs to know that, hey, there's somebody else here that feels kind of like you do, and I'm here. I'm here to try to do that, and let you know it's all right. So,
Where did you get the ideas about your music too?
what's that?
Where did you get all your ideas from to write your music?
I I tell people that I don't write for myself. I don't write a lot of songs about myself. Um, I basically just observe, look around, see the fella down the street, and
Mm.
write a song about him. And a few of my friends have asked me before, said, "Hey, is that song about me?" It's like, well, okay, it might have been about you, but it's just everyday people and everyday stories, and some of them are
Mm.
a little bit more um, laid back, and some of them are a little bit more aggressive, and I'm talking about personalities. And I write a song that says I feel country coming on, and I like to get my guitar out there and go and stomp my foot a little bit. And then there's some songs about the fella sitting over in the corner, kind of hiding away, and so I write about um, just kind of different people's reactions to
Mm.
everyday situations.
Why not? Why not about you?
That it's just come up here recently, and I think that what that question somebody's asked me, why not? And um, I think that too many people put emphasis on that, the story. Oh, you got to have a story. You've got to have a story. And I don't think that's all I am, is just a story of my history and my past. Um, and I don't think that that makes the best songwriters. I don't think that makes the best singers, because they've been through stuff. Because I have friends of mine that have been through pain and turmoil, and they still can't sing, and they still can't write a song. And I know
What
guys,
makes?
I
What makes?
mean,
Yeah. Sorry. Go on. Carry on.
I think that there are people out there that can sing and they can bring the house down, and they're just normal people. I've got a song that says I'm just an average guy, and I think sometimes average people. The second part of that question is when I was in high school, I had all these teachers that told me, write a personal experience, and I wrote two personal experiences, of way too personal, not two, but more than just they were just really personal experiences, and then we had to read them in front of the class, and it was a little embarrassing. And I thought, you know what, I'm just not going to let people get in there
Mm.
like that anymore. I'm going to go ahead and kind of close that off. I'll put it in some of my songs, but they'll never know which ones are actually about me. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's just how I do it. It's
Yeah. Why? Why kind of like? Do you find that you put yourself down a bit?
um I I I think so. But the person that doesn't, that's so full of themselves, I think that they end up just being obnoxious, and
Mm. Mm.
so I might do it a little bit, but there's still the thing in me that believes in me and believes in what I can do and who I am. So
Right. So, so if I came up to you like about an hour ago, and I went, "Hey Jay, how are you, man?" Something like that, and I went, "Who are you, Jay?" What would you say to me?
I I would say I'm just normal. Everybody, I mean, everyday guy, and maybe I sing a little bit better than the next dude, or maybe I write a song that or write something that people can identify with. But it's just I'm that guy. I mean, I am the guy that was at the back of the class, and last picked for kickball, and
That
and
doesn't matter, Jay. That doesn't matter, does it? Because at the end of the day, we've all been there. I was the same. And you know
right,
what? Do you know what? We are number one now, mate. We are number
yes,
one.
sir.
We're number one.
Exactly. Yeah,
And the
I do
trouble is,
believe I believe we've all got something, and we need to we just find out what our deal is, and go with it. because there's somebody else out there that's just like us that's listening and want to hear. They want to
Yeah, man.
hear what we've got going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I've got around about 5,000 people on my radio station now listening to you. You
oh
know,
yeah,
and 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 what they're saying at the moment to me is that this guy is really interesting guy. You only been on a few minutes,
yeah,
but let me get down to the nitty gritty with you because your music is soulful, but sometimes you pick the music up and it's like a dancey feel to it. Do you get me?
right,
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
sure.
Yeah. So, what do you? Um, why is that? Why is? Do you like? Do you just kind of like different tunes or um? What is it about you that do it? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it comes from different influences. It comes from um, just knowing that you can't be down all the time. I write a lot of sad songs, and even
Yeah.
some of my
Yeah.
favorite songs and my upbeat songs, they're still sad. A couple of them off of a record, talks about there's a whole lot of nothing going on. The guy's suspicious, and she might be leaving me, but it but it's still got a catch. I mean, it kind of picks you up and pulls you up. But I do try to write some positive stuff too.
Mm.
Um, I, I think it's all in feeling. I think that you can even be sad about something, but say, hey, this is not going to get me down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little drive into it, and if we got to dance it off, you dance it off. I mean, I knew people like that. They said as long as they were able to get out and move around a little bit and shake it off, they're shaking it off. So,
That's it. They got to shake it off, haven't they?
yeah.
They have got to shake it off because you're very talented.
Well, thank you.
Very talented what you do. Where do you get your talent from?
I believe it's probably my mom and dad, my family, and I come from a long line of ministers, but also musicians and singers and piano players and guitar players, and um, so my dad played an old flat top guitar and still does in church. My mom she played accordion for many years growing up, and now she's on a big old Hammond B3 organ playing, and she's got the soul, boy. She can sing those old gospel soul songs, and um, so my brother and my sister both sang. We traveled with my parents from just little bitty kids, and we sang, had trios together, and and if somebody didn't show up for church that night, they were supposed to be playing the drums. Guess who got to play the drums that night? Guess who got to play the bass? And so
Yeah,
we,
I was going to come on to that. I was going to come on to that. I was going to ask you how many musical instruments can you play?
I I play at just about everything, and if it's in the right key, I probably fool you to think I really know what I'm doing. But my main instruments are guitar, acoustic and electric, rhythm guitar. I'm not the best lead player, um, but I'll do what I do to get by. I play piano and keys, and I'm working on the organ right now. I've got a B3 at my house and my studio as well, and my mom's calling me, telling me a few things and a few pointers, and I'm actually have grown in that. Bass guitar, harmonica. I play a little bit of harmonica, and used to play a lot, but I just haven't had a lot chance here lately. Um, I could do drums if I had to, but it's not something I want to do a whole show of. But played bass guitar. I played
Yeah,
trumpet and in high school and or junior high, and so I play a ton of stuff.
yeah. Where's the
But
most interesting? Where's the most interesting place you played?
oh oh goodness, 2019 was a really good year for me. Um, I got a chance to hang out with a friend of mine, Mr. John Schneider, the actor and the singer, and he took me down to Dominican Republic, and we played in 2019. We played at Kid Rock's birthday party, and that was pretty nice. Um, I don't know. I'm not at that level playing a lot of big places, but I got a lot of little places, little honky tonks and hootin' nannies all over the country that are just I just love to go, and the groove is right. You can get intimate, but you can still put on a big show. And 2020, I did get a chance to open for Aaron Lewis out at the Brushy Mountain State Prison, um, where there's some pretty famous prisoners had been held there, and they've turned it into a big concert venue, and that was a really cool vibe, you know. So it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's all about that and kind of who you get to play with. I actually opened years ago for Martha Reeves, Martha and the Vandellas, and also Leon Russell. And
All right. Okay.
that was I didn't get to meet him now, but I did get the chance to be the guy that was opening up for him and on the billing. Back then, they actually put the guy that was opening on the billing too. So
You're already make you're already making me jealous with one person that you mentioned.
oh man, yeah,
Yeah, and you know, I always wanted to interview, and that's John Snyder. You know,
yeah,
I
he is
always,
such a
I
prince.
always wanted to interview him. Always.
Yeah, it's he. I'm sure he'd do it. You just reach out, man. He's such a cool guy. He is a prince, and he cut two of my songs in 2019 and put them on his Redneck Rebel album, and then re-released "A Long Way from Lonely" in 2020.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
go down to play for his birthday, and it's I missed him this year. We should have done some more stuff, but the pandemic got us.
yeah. I love, you know, because I've been trying to contact him for ages, and
Um,
I can't contact him. I can't contact him. So if you ever contact him,
I will. I'll
right?
help you. I'll
Yeah,
tell
if you, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. You'll make my day. Honestly,
him.
it would really cheer me up. I love to kind of like be in contact with him. It'd be brilliant. Really good. You
He's a
watch my face. You watch my face. The tears will come down my face. Honestly, I love the guy. I love the guy.
good.
Um, there's a song I love of yours, and I'll tell you what it's called. And it kind of like gets to me. It's a song called "If You Were Mine,"
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I tell you what, that you know, I really kind of like I love that song, and
right,
yeah, it just kind of like it just makes me feel good, you know, every time I kind of like listen to it.
right, right. Yeah, I wrote that with Greg Pratt. He's a young man in Nashville and just playing shows up and down Broadway and getting he gets out of town a little bit, but man, that just that's one of my favorites. But I got a lot of favorite songs that I've written,
Yeah,
but that is one of the up there in the top bunch.
yeah. And there's another one. Hang on for a second. Oh, ain't really. Is it ain't really love?
Ain't really love. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, wrote that one by myself. And I had Delbert McClinton. I don't know if you remember Delbert McClinton. He did "Giving It Up for Your Love" every day, giving it up for your love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but I never had the opportunity to pitch it to him, and so we just put it out, did our thing, and I've had some really full blown studio albums, and I like doing that. I like doing using the best players, and but then I also like just sitting at home in our studio and you come up with the real stuff and the things that your buddies play with you, And I just watched the I think it's called Once Were Brothers. It's the Robbie Robertson story leading up to the band The Last Waltz. And man, those guys were just sitting out there in a little cabin in Woodstock and recording that music. It's iconic. Take a load off Annie, and just the way, man, just such a cool thing. But they had just a really small recording system, and it was all about the camaraderie and the collaboration and trying something new. But I can get on a soapbox right here, but I really feel like that's what we need to get back to.
Yeah.
All across the world, all across the country. Stop trying to be celebrities, and let's get back to making music that means something, and music that hits people in the heart and can help somebody have a better day, or at least say what they're feeling. And I've had so many people come up to me and say, man, that's what I wanted to say. I didn't really know how to do it, but when you said that line right there, that's what I've been trying to say. And that's just kind of the validation of what I'm doing is when any people come up to me and let you know that hey, that affected me, and it said it exactly like I wanted to tell it, but I just couldn't. And so,
Jay, where did you get the idea from? I Ain't Broken.
well, now that I'm trying to think of where the actual idea came from, but the story on that, the funny thing is that I was sitting in a publisher's office, a publishing company. Bandwagon Red was the name of it. I don't even think it's that they're together anymore. I was waiting on a fellow that had his name on tons of country albums and songs, and he's known, and we were going to write again. And I was like, this might be something really good for me. It might be a step. We might have somebody we can pitch these songs to. He was late, and I was sitting there. I just met these two young fellas. I no lie, had their hats turned around backwards, skinny jeans, their Timberlands on, and they were nice, but I could tell this is not what I do, so we probably wouldn't sit in a room together and write. And sure enough, here comes my friend in, and he said it like this. He said, "Sorry I'm late, but you guys look like y'all got something going on. Why don't y'all just go ahead and write one?" And I told people, I said, started to throw a book at him, but I thought, well, let's do it. And those guys, Taylor Goyette and Tommy Cole, both just said, man, that's the stuff that we want to write. And we cranked down on it. There's a line in there that says, throw my last five in the plate at church. And they wanted to say, I pray that works. And I said, to be real, we need to just say, I hope that works. And it was just about that. It was about working people and folks, when they've really lost faith, they don't have all the faith there, and they're not standing on that. They're just standing on maybe a little bit of hope that, that what they've heard about will work, and it'll get them out of this hole that they're in. And tired and broke, but I ain't broken. I'm still standing. So
of course you are, yeah. And have you still got your faith then?
I still hold on to some things. I tell you, I'm out on the road with my friend Brian Ray, and he's got a similar background story. He was involved in ministry, and we've been 4 days out here. We left Tennessee and went to Tallahassee, Florida, played there, drove down to Miami, played a couple of nights there, and started coming back, and the weather was so bad in Nashville we couldn't get back. So we got back to Tallahassee and said, well, let's just run down the southern coast and see what happens, and we'll stop in and see a few folks. We got to Tuscaloosa, but it's been it's been about 5 days of us going back and some old history and talking about church and
Mm.
faith and those type things. But
Have you still got your faithful? Have you still got your faith?
I I, I think I do. I believe I do. It's not something that I write about every day, but I still hold on. Still got a little hope and a little faith in there. Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I've got a friend. I've got a friend who's coming to Nashville soon, and
Okay.
she's playing at the it's at the listening rooms.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
actually a place called the Listening Room. Right.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. She's playing there soon. So
Oh yeah, it's a
yeah.
great place. Great sounding room. And I'm so sorry. Somebody call in. Oh, there we go. Great sounding place, and um, it's it's got a name. So when people come from out of town or tourists come looking, they know they can go there and hear the original music. Our our main drag, which is Broadway, is it's kind of been overrun by just old cover bands and you know stuff that you could have stayed home and listened to your cousin's band play for you. And they get a little frustrated at me for saying it, but people don't come to Nashville and spend the money to come on vacation and then hear something they could have stayed home and spent less
Mm,
money to hear. So
mm.
so I like the listening room, the local. There's out at the Opry Mills area. There's the Nashville Palace and Scoreboard, Music City Bar and Grill. Those places are
Yeah.
locking on to more original and
How about
old
is
style
it?
country music.
How about the LMC? LMC? Is it the LMC?
I'm sorry. Let me turn my volume up a little bit. I lost you.
Yeah.
Say it one more time, Steve.
Is it? Did you have? Was it the LMC?
I can't hardly hear you now.
Oh
Don't know
right.
if I
Okay.
if I did something or
No, you're okay. You're okay. Up.
okay. I can't hear you though.
Can't you hear me?
Okay,
Are you okay?
turning my volume up, but
Hello.
I can barely hear you.
Right. Okay. Are, are you all right now?
It's still very quiet.
All right. Hello.
Am I back?
Hello.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, now I
Yeah.
got you.
So, yeah. I was on about the LMC.
The LMC.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard of it.
It's like a bar type and bar and grill place.
Okay. Uh, and it's called the LMC.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't
Anyway.
know.
Anyway.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
There's a
Um.
bunch of them. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's loads of it. Yeah. So at the moment then, are you now kind of like still playing, or is the COVID stopped you from playing now?
it's it put a big damper on our traveling and our playing. I mean, it took a while to try to get some things back in Nashville. Back in the summer, I had 8 shows lined up in a week and a half in Texas, and I went out there, drove from Nashville to Dallas Fort Worth, and when I got there, they started closing the state down, and I lost. I mean, they just canceled gigs. They canceled gigs that were supposed to happen the next day, so it
Gosh.
was it was rough. Um, December, I had a lot of traveling to do. We thought, well, okay, we're getting back and things are going to open up. Whew, man, They closed some venues down in Pennsylvania and West Virginia, Ohio, um, Kentucky. It was restrictions and fines if you were open, and it got a little crazy.
Yeah.
And Nashville, people were leaving Nashville right and left. They were heading back home to Wisconsin and Idaho because they couldn't find work. So it's kind of been a culling experience too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A few questions, and that I think would be over done with. Um, what's the worst place that you ever played? I always ask this question to everybody.
Yeah, and there, where I'm at, and the level I'm at, there's a few. Uh, I can't handle the smoky places as much anymore, and then sometimes there's been some really hot, steamy, no air conditioner places, and um, I
how
I
about
don't
rough?
know if I
How
can.
about some rough places where there's been like fighting and stuff like
That happens all the time. That ain't no big deal.
that?
Yeah, my buddy Brian that was here with me, and he's on the road with me. He set me up at a place one time, and he called me in the middle of the gig, and I just walked off the stage for a minute, and he said, "Everything okay? Everything all right?" And I said, "Are you calling to ask if we've had any fights yet?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, it's okay." And I went back on stage, after that little break and intermission, and played another hour. Called him right back up and said, "Okay, it happened in the last set. It happened." We had a big knockdown, drag out. We didn't. I just
Mm,
said, "Don't touch my equipment," and I kept playing. I played right on through it. So
mhm.
it's there's a lot of folks that got some pent up aggression. They need to get out, and so
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I know you're not going to tell me what place it is. Um,
I can't
I'll
name
try
no
to
names.
get.
I still need to go back and play that place. So
Yeah. On my next interview, I'll try to get it out of you.
all righty, yeah.
um, what's the best place you ever played?
Um, the best. I, you know what? The truth is, I'm actually at one of the best places I've ever played here in Tuscaloosa. It's the Hotel Indigo, and they have an upstairs venue and restaurant bar. It's called the Lookout, and Tuscaloosa has been good to me. They have really been good to me. We got connected, and anytime I'm driving anywhere close, I just say, "Hey, I just thought I'd drop in on you." And they're like, "Can you play? Can you play?" And it's you never have to worry about somebody wanting some crazy song from an '80s band or something. They love what I do, and they just treat me like a king, and I love it. And
Did it give you free accommodation then?
oh yeah, yeah.
Free
So
accommodation, food and stuff, eh?
yeah, it's great. They got it, and the staff is just. We walked in or left the room today, and we're going to. It's also Tuscaloosa is also where one of my sponsors is, a little music store called Eat My Beats, and that's really fun. But we were leaving and going to check them out, and we came around by the front desk, and when we did, even though we had a mask on and everything, the little girl working the the front desk, she said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And are you playing tonight? And I said, "Yeah, we're gonna play upstairs." She said, "Okay, I'm getting off work and going to get ready, and I'll be right back." Um, so it's just great, and they take care of us
Good, good. What's your most embarrassing moment?
here. uh, oh goodness. Well, you got the questions. Um, I think it. My wife would say that it was probably one of the many times I got too drunk to sound good. I can make it through the show when I was drunk, but she said sounding good. You were a little obnoxious and you didn't sound that great. But uh, I think a lot of things is just when stuff don't go right, when you work on a sound system and you get things ready and you do your sound check and everything, but the minute you come out and the place is packed, that if there's problems with the sound or uh, even just down to a dead battery in your guitar
Mm.
and there's no sound and you got to stop the show, that is embarrassing first, and then it frustrates me, and and I get tied up in knots about, man, and I don't like that. I don't like it. Seems like it's a reflection on me, so I don't like little things that go wrong
Yeah.
in a
I've got
show.
I've got somebody here called Kathy. Can you say hello to Kathy for me?
I sure will. Hey, Kathy, how are you?
Okay. And she wants to know what kind of music do you sing? She just joined us.
Say it again.
What kind of music do you sing?
Um, I I think it's just a mixture.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the country people have put us over in the Americana basket now. Um, it's it's not all blues, and so we don't. It's almost a kind of a it's a new genre, but it's actually an old genre and style of music that's they just don't know what to do with it anymore.
Yeah.
Some of my stuff is rock and roll. Some of it's country. Um, and some and it's all going to have my old blues voice put on it, but it's just a mixture. It's a mixture of all those influences and the gospel music, the black gospel music that I grew up with, and the country stories. So it's just a mixture of all of it. But I think that they're trying to stick us over in the Americana because our today's country over here is kind of the 80s R&B to me. We've already been through the 80s and heard Boys to Men and stuff. So
Yeah.
uh, it is what it is. I'm not mad about it, but it's like, okay, whatever. I'll keep doing what I do, and we Southern soul is a term we've used before. It's just kind of raw, emotional, soulful, but with the grit and some country in there too. So
Yeah. I think my friend Kathy just got back at me because what I usually do, she's a singer, see, and
yeah,
when she sings, I goes on her and makes her laugh. I go, hello, mum. All right, mum. And she just wrote this back to me. You know when I said to you, what was your most embarrassing moment? Yeah.
yeah,
She put down here, mine was Crossroads. Laugh out loud. Just joking. Love you, Steve. I said,
yeah.
well, look, don't worry about it. I'll get my own back on her. She's
I got you.
actually we've done quite well because we started last year,
Right,
last July, and because of the we mainly did it for people who were kind of like lonely in their homes or people with mental health and stuff like that.
right.
And now we had to branch out, and we're like around about 89th in the podcast chart or whatever it is. We've got a
Cool.
podcast on the radio site, see.
Right.
So we do all this, and it's really good. We get a lot of people on here. So
We sure appreciate it. I'm glad you're doing what you do, and glad for your passion to help folks that need help. And I we uh, we've done some stuff here and with um, uh, awareness, trying to bring awareness for mental health,
yeah, that's
and
what we do. Yeah,
then I wasn't military, but I had a lot of friends that I lost due to feelings and emotions that were brought on by trauma through the military and through conflict, and so we've tried to do our best to do whatever we could just to tell some stories and give people an outlet to kind of say, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, and let them have that release. And
Oh
let
yeah,
me,
of course, yeah. We do a lot of fundraising too for mental health too, so we do a lot of that, and we get people to come up. But I remember what was it? What was I going to say to you? So yeah, so we just covered mental health, and also if people got problems, we got counsellors too, so we can kind of like put them to like a
right.
counsellor that we know. Right, okay, here we go. Got some questions here, then I'm going to let you go. Right,
Okay.
how long have you been singing for?
Well, I'm a little over the 50 mark, 50 years old, and from the time I could hold a microphone, my mom and dad put me on the platform at church, holding a microphone and singing. So I've been doing this close to 50 years. My dad, mom, I told you that. I might have told you that earlier. My dad and mom traveled across the United States and preaching and singing, and that's just what we did. You didn't say, no, I don't feel like singing tonight. It's like, yeah, that's what we do. We're going to revival, and you go sing. So I've been singing and singing in front of people since I was 2 to 3 years old. So
Yeah, Kathy just got back to me and said, tell tell Jay Edwards from me that Steve Beer is a good guy.
oh, okay, good. Yeah.
She's creeping. She's creeping.
I think she's trying to smooth some things over, ain't she? She's trying to make it right.
Yeah, well, she won't be because tomorrow I'll be going on a show going, hello, mum, I'll
That's
be
good.
winding her up, don't you worry. What else is there? Hi, Jay. Love your music. I listen to your music. I see that you got your guitar in your hand. Can you give us a song?
So, oh yeah. So, yeah, we got time for that. You want to do that?
Yeah, yeah, go on. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I'll fit you in, don't worry.
Okay. I don't have my full sound system up in here, but
Try it, don't worry.
the tear in her eye, she tells me goodbye. So she won't share her love with nobody else. She made up her mind. There'll be no next time. She's going back to Arkansas all by herself. And I reach out to hold her, and I tell her, all I can tell her is, it ain't really love till somebody gets hurt. Love can't mend your heart as you break it first. Till somebody can't sleep at night, holding their pillow tight. Oh, it ain't really love till somebody gets hurt. So with a hint of a smile, she says, boy, don't you lie. I won't play games and I won't be the fool. I say, baby, before you leave, you can take this from me. 'Cause I know the fool, and it was never you. No. As she slips away, I tell myself, all I can tell myself is, it ain't really love till somebody gets hurt. Love can't mend your heart as you break it first. Till somebody can't sleep at night, holding the pillow tight. Oh, oh, oh. It ain't really love till somebody gets hurt. No, it ain't really love till somebody gets hurt. Ooh, but it hurts so bad now. Yes, it hurts so badly. You know this must be love.
Well done.
Oh, there you go.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
What else have we got here? What's the biggest venue you ever played at?
Um, well, when I was doing years ago, when I was doing Christian music, of course, it was some 20 years ago. I got a chance to sing in the big Coliseum in Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, and that was probably the biggest. I've done a lot of outdoor concerts and outdoor festivals, and I don't know um, just how many people were there, but we've done some pretty big stuff as far as the outside things where a lot of people came. I got a chance to open up for Marshall Tucker one time, so um, the old classic rock band,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and they brought in a big crowd that was also opening for them and Martha Reeves, and so it was a really big crowd in Columbia, South Carolina. Um, but I'm still, kind of that middle tier, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's hard to get on those circuits and tours with some of these other guys, these young guys especially. So they, it's hard to
Yeah.
get on
Yeah.
with them. They got their own little groups. I'm too old for them.
No. No. You're all right. Don't worry. You keep going. You keep going. Right. Okay. So right. Okay. We're gonna go for the one word question thing. Right. So what I'll
Uh-oh.
do is I'm gonna ask you some questions. You just come out with one word.
Okay.
Right. Okay. First word is Trump.
Uh, Pow.
Right. Okay. 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 COVID.
Sick.
Okay. Your wife.
Lovely.
Good. Thank you. I tell you what, Jay, you've been a
Yes.
wonderful guest. I love
Thank
you to
you,
come back. I love you to come back sometime
Steve. I
because
will. I definitely will, man. I love
yeah,
it. I enjoyed it, and we're trying. Maybe next year to come over, hitting the UK, Norway, and the Netherlands. So
if you come
I'm
over to
calling
the
you.
UK, if you come to the UK, we'll have a beer, mate. Don't you worry.
Okay,
All right,
I sure appreciate
we'll
it.
definitely meet up and we'll have a beer and we'll play some tunes. I can't play the guitar, mind you. Well, yeah, I can. But what I could do is play the flute or something or the whistle.
Okay,
Whistle while you work.
that's right.
Yeah.
I've got
But
I've got a
anyway,
little song that I played whistle on. That yeah.
Jay, thank you so much for joining me, and
Thank you, Steve.
take a safe journey back home to Nashville,
Yeah,
and God bless you. Thank you so much.
thank you, buddy.
Bye bye.
I'll see
Thank
you
you.
another time.
You
All right.
definitely will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
That was Jay, and really good, really good. Anyway, guys, I gotta go now. I'm going. When I go to bed, I'm shattered. That's it for me today. I've had quite a few people on today, but tomorrow we're back again with more guests. Thank you to every single guest who's joined me so far. We are doing quite well. Our audience is going up, and I can't believe it. So thank you so much for everything. And Mum, I will see you very soon. Bye bye, Mum. Night, Mum. Happy. Okay, Kathy. Night, Kathy. Anyway, see you later. God bless. And don't forget, see you on the next adventure. Bye bye.